Rollerblading has witnessed some incredible skating in a variety of places on all sorts of obstacles. Massive tricks in skate parks, stunts in the street. You can skate almost anywhere, which has pushed people to all sides of the globe in search of new and untouched spots. In this video, we're going to go over some of the coolest locations and obstacles people have skated from across the world. And stick around to the end to find out who's the king of skating insane spots.
All the stunts are performed by professionals. Do not attempt this yourself.
Before we get tucked into it, if you want to support me, you can give us a like. You can become a member of this channel for $2.99 a month. I've also got merch and a Patreon with exclusive videos. Cheers! We're starting things off in Siberia, one of the coldest and harshest environments in the world. I feel hard done by when it rains. Imagine trying to skate in minus 20 degrees Celsius and only having a few hours of daylight.
You're not afraid of the dark, are you?
Hashassins is well known for his creative and ridiculous ideas, including skating on an office chair base, strapping a balance ball to himself, and loads more mad stuff. When he got his first pro skate, he went all in to produce a unique edit. He was skating in a chicken coop, launching himself off a little sled bike, attaching his skates together with a chain and then grinding that chain, hitting up ski slopes. But the pinnacle of the edit was when he went deep into Siberia to Ice Hill and skated ice sculptures that were part of an exhibition. He was throwing tricks off the top of them, grinding them like they were normal ledges, using massive ice slides as runways for huge cess slides. Everything was visually stunning and unique. It's pretty rare you get a chance to skate ice sculptures, and Ilya took full advantage. Imagine not being able to skate a spot because it melted. At the opposite end of the spectrum, when the weather is decent, there is nothing quite like a water park. In 2004 for the video Hashassins,
what's up bitch?
And in Black Market the following year, there was the Atlanta Water Park Tour. The likes of Kevin Dowling, Michael Broad, Walt Austin, Jeremy Stevenson and Julian hit up Whitewater, an abandoned park, for a session. It looked like an absolute dream. As fun as you could imagine it would be, carving their way down big snake runs, doing grinds on the lips of the slides, hitting flumes, gapping from one slide to the other slide. It honestly looked like the best time ever. They even hit up the huge funnel shaped thing that looked completely buzzing. It was the kind of setup you'd build for yourself if you were using one of those skate park builders in a game. It was a complete fantasy skate park. I still want to skate a water park. They should build skate parks just like water parks. Just add a slide in there and everything, stick a bit of coping on it. Jobs are good in. That all seems quite glamorous in comparison to the next spot. Now the Santee crew were known for being wild. Their skating was incredible and they were not afraid to get stuck right into it. It looked like they'd skate absolutely anything. And Nick Wood's section in Filth is a prime example of that. I mean, it is described as no bullshit, straight hammers. The spot selection goes from steeped kink handrails to curved ledges, to jumping off articulated lorries, to launching himself onto massive gates to bonk off road signs. The section had it all going on. But the one spot I've not really seen anyone skate before, or since for that matter, is the back of a dump truck. Nick skated it like it was a mini halfpipe doing a royale to drop. The thing was wobbling all over the place and raised slightly, making it even more impressive. The next spot ups the scale a little bit. The IMYTA was the biggest and most prestigious street comp in rollerblading. All the top skaters were vying to be crowned the champ, and it was a surefire way to get yourself into the rollerblading history books. Shima had already stamped his name on the event, throwing all manner of tricks at the iconic Bercy Sports Centre. And although the tricks were big and the architecture was intriguing, it didn't stand out quite like the next spot. In 2002, IMYTA went to Montreal and the Olympic Stadium. The place is filled with spectacular architecture that people have skated various parts of. Naturally, the competitors were getting stuck into the bank and the ledge, a more traditional obstacle to go for, but just as things were coming to a head, Shima upped the ante and decided he wanted to do a wall ride across the side of the building. He launched himself from a couple of floors up across a huge drop to another platform. Unreal.
Me.
At what point do you decide the wall of an Olympic stadium is a skateable spot? Mathieu Heinemann has run across the side of it, and the wall ride has been tried before by Neoman, but wasn't landed. Shima was the first to do it on skates, And Zeke, one of the organisers, had this to say about it.
Watching Shima do that wall ride in Montreal, like, it is literally, like, there's only been a few times in my entire life where I'm like, I'm gonna watch somebody die, like he's gonna die.
A little bit further afield to the Southeast Asian country of Myanmar, formerly Burma, Dom West set out with Joe Atkinson, Gav Drumm and Mathieu Heinemann to document the Myanmar skating scene, capturing their unfaltering passion and sheer determination to skate in the face of harsh daily challenges. It's an eye-opening documentary that shows how tough the environment is, but also the joy and power that can be taken from rollerblading. It's incredible seeing the skate parks they've created for themselves and the unique skate spots. Skating anything there is a feat in itself and an unmatchable experience. Mathieu Heinemann finds a spot in the middle of a busy motorway at the mouth of a tunnel, dodging traffic as he manages to ride up the thing and backslide down it. A once in a lifetime experience. And so did Dirk Auer.
This is the most dangerous thing what I ever done.
Dirk wasn't content riding a roller coaster like a normal person. He wanted to do it on his rollerblades.
He falls forward, his head goes down in there. That could be the end of it.
Not bothered by the risk, he grabbed a helmet, a leather suit and some modified rollerblades. He spent 2 years planning how he would do it and months getting himself match fit, and then he just set about doing it.
Are you sure you want to do this?
He couldn't have been more sure. He thought he was a roller coaster, so he went for it. Fighting back against G-force and high speeds, he belted himself around the roller coaster ride in 60 seconds, earning himself a spot in the record books as well. You coming down the skate park? Nah man, I'm on my way to Blackpool Pleasure Beach in the Big Dipper. From roller coasters to iconic landmarks, we're heading to Paris and the Eiffel Tower. When they built the thing in 1887, they definitely weren't thinking about somebody jumping off it in rollerblades. Taig Khris is well known within the rollerblading world as being handy at vert and keen on double backflips, kind of like a professional show-off. He's managed to transcend rollerblading, getting himself on Dancing with the Stars, TV adverts, and he's even done a TED talk. And Taig Khris would do anything for a can of Red Bull and a world record. So in 2010 he decided to skate the Eiffel Tower. The scale of this thing is frightening. Shout out to this guy putting it all together, and that's a stunt in itself. Now after a day of practicing, the big day arrived. It looked like half of France had turned up to watch him, including his parents, who were definitely bricking it. They raised a platform up the side of the Eiffel Tower. He took a slug of Red Bull, then dropped a record-breaking 12 meters 50 from the side of the thing into a vert ramp. What a complete loony. No idea how you convince the authorities to let you skate the Eiffel Tower.
For one time, is the inliners who did something that nobody ever did and nobody will ever do, because putting a ramp like that at the Eiffel Tower is really a legend. It's really a dream coming true.
But shortly after that, Taig was getting the itch, man. He wanted to skate something iconic and unique again. This time he had his sights set on a world record breaking jump at Sacre. News spread Taig was up to his old tricks again, and France came out in force. They even climbed on top of their roofs to watch this one. His parents were also back again, bricking it. I imagine they were questioning what the silly sausage was up to and how the Eiffel Tower wasn't enough. Again, the scale of the thing was huge. He started near the top of Sacre, came down on a ramp above the stairs and launched himself off the thing, travelling 29 metres and setting the world record. Unfortunately, it only lasted a couple of months before it was beaten by Stunt Sergeant Chris Haffey, who got himself zip-toed off a ramp and cleared 30 metres. But that takes nothing away from how iconic Sacre is as a skate spot. That's 2 completely insane skate spots for him, so he's doing pretty well on the leaderboard. But there is someone else who I think has skated more insane spots. We'll get to that at the end. How'd you top Sacre? You skate the King's Gaff, Buckingham Palace. Well, not exactly the gaff, but the fountain that's right outside the front of the thing. In March of 2021, Sam Crofts dropped the stunt-heavy promo for his second Aeon skate, filmed by the legendary John Lee. Part of his section sees him taking advantage of the dried out fountain by having a session in it, utilising all the features as he traverses from one side to the other, throwing a mono roll, a cheeky little grind, a bit of carving, and a wall ride out the thing. There's definitely not many people who can say they skated the King's Fountain right outside his house.
Hell yes. Chicken wing, innit, mate? Chicken wing.
From King Charles to the king of skating insane spots, Joe Atkinson.
You ready?
International Joe Atkinson must have an extraordinary amount of air miles clocked up. He's like rollerblading's Willy Fogg. He's been everywhere. If you had to put money on someone skating the moon first, it'd be Joe Atkinson for sure. He's been to all corners of the globe in search of the best things to skate, and his adventures have been fruitful. For the Cayenne project's second full-length video, Delfon Dio, they went to Greece in the autumn of 2016. Carson Boyson and Benjamin Butner created a visual blessing. Every spot and trick is captured in a way that is mesmerising. And amongst it all, Joe managed to find an intriguing rooftop of humps and pyramids, occasionally separated by a gap through to the floor. He navigates himself around the unique setup, teetering on the edge at times, and even gets a little trick on the top of one of the pyramids. It's a layout you'd be hard pressed to find anywhere else in the world at ground level, let alone on a roof.
There's something about Joe in general. He often, he doesn't look bored, but most of the spots we skated, I think it was just Joe material. He was always looking for the craziest, gnarliest, whatever he could do or find.
Sticking with the Cayenne project, but this time Cuadro in Mexico. Again, another edit with really rich and stimulating visuals, exposing a beautiful landscape not often seen in rollerblading. Joe was in his absolute element here, and he managed to root out a little piece of local architecture that he could skate like a mini ramp. Take him anywhere in the world and he will sniff out the most interesting thing to skate. Interestingly, Joe rides the now defunct Solomon skates. Although they don't have skates anymore, they do hook him up with clothes and bits and bobs. And then one day he decided to get on top of one of their office roofs and do a backflip drop-in. The trick and spot are both insane, but if I had to pick just one wild spot that Joe has skated, it's a little bit closer to home. Now Joe loves a full pipe. I think it's because it reminds him of travelling around the globe. He actually trained for full pipes as a kid by riding those giant washing machines. You've never seen a man handle a 40-degree wash the way that Joe Atkinson can handle it. He's done loops all over the place, but the Ouse Valley Viaduct offered something a little bit different. You'll find the spot somewhere between Haywards Heath and Buckingham. The dramatic structure was built in 1838, took 11 million bricks to build it.
You got a lot of bricks.
And carries a London-Brighton railway line. The UK marvel has these huge arches which create a tight half-pipe, which is ideal for Joe and his skill. He put in all his loop experience, and after only just a couple of pumps, he managed to do a full rotation on the thing. An insane skate spot used to its full potential by one of the very few people who could do it. So which place is the most insane to skate? I've got a bigger list, so if you want a part 2, let me know. Cheers to all my Patreons, really appreciate all your support. You can join them from as little as £3 a month, exclusive videos, sneak peeks, that kind of thing. Here's a couple of videos you can watch and I'll catch you again soon. Spotty dog.